Welcome to Board Games Daddy. For something different today, you know how much of a Magic the Gathering fan I am, so today I decided to show you the entire set of Transformers that came out in 2022 as a partnership between Magic the Gathering and Transformers, both IPs from Hasbro. Um, And so this is a 15 card set plus 2 tokens, and I just want to share with you what is inside. Let's call it inside this set. So the cards are numbered, and let's go through. All of them are legendary vehicles, and they all turn. So we start here with Prowl. So Prowl, probably we should start on the other side. No, this one is that is not on the correct side. So this is Prowl here. Stoic strategist, white, and more than meets the eye. You can cast this card for converted to 2. Okay. Why is that? Whenever Prowl attacks, exile up to one other tapped creature or vehicle for as long as that card remains exiled. Its owner may play it. Whenever a player plays an exile card with Prowl, you may draw a card to convert Prowl. Okay, so you know that the strength on the other side is already written here. So then it becomes the police car, the pursuit vehicle, which is living metal. As long as it's your turn, this vehicle is also a creature. Whenever another creature or vehicle enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Prowl. If this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, convert Prowl. Okay. Then we have the medic here, Ratchet, not Ratchet and Clank. So more than meets the eye, you can cast this card converted for, I guess converted will be the cost here, so it can come as a vehicle. Because it's the ambulance, right? Whenever you gain life, you may convert Ratchet. When you do, return target artifact card with mana value less or equal to the amount of life you gain this turn from your graveyard. Okay, so he gets the others back from life, the other Transformers, because he's the ambulance, right? And when he's on ambulance mode, he gets lifelink. Whenever 1 or 2 non-token artifacts you control are put in graveyard from the battlefield, convert Ratchet. This ability triggers only once per turn. Okay, so if someone dies, you get him back, and then you gain life with lifelink, and then you can bring others back. There's the combo. Then on blue, we have Jetfire, ingenious scientist. It can come in as a plane, as a flyer, even if it's a robot, is a flyer. Remove 1 or more balls from among artifacts control. Target player adds that much mana and colorless. This mana can be okay, so he can just convert counters into mana, and then he becomes vehicle 3/4 flyer, and if you spend 3 manas, convert Jetfire, then adapt 3. Okay, so yeah, so you put counters on him, and then you use those counters to pay for mana. So that's how this thing works. Creates mana. Wow, that's cool. These guys work with them. They combo with themselves. So they turn, they convert. That's how this set works. So I haven't read these cards first, so I'm doing this first time with you. Probably you are noticing because I'm blah 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 while I'm reading those. So is this guy Blitzwing, Cruel Tormentor. So this could be a bad guy. And it's so funny how they did the symbol for this edition. So it's Autobots and Decepticons at the same time. Because you'll have cards for both. Okay, at the beginning of your end step, target opponent loses life equal to the life that player lost this turn. Target opponent, okay. Loses life equal to the life that player lost this turn. Okay, so you can lose 2 times. If no life was lost this way, you convert Blitzwing. So Blitzwing becomes a tank. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose flying or indestructible at random. Blitzwing gains that ability until the end of the turn. Whenever you do combat damage, convert it. So you give combat damage, you convert the guy, And then in the beginning of my end step, he loses life equal to the life that he lost this turn. So he loses life twice. Twice. That's bad. You can make him invisible. Oh man, there's no invisible creatures on magic. So you can make him fly and deals the damage and then converts and gives twice. That's cool. Now Starscream, one of more famous Decepticons. Fire, as you can expect, this is a plane. Whenever you draw a card, if you are the monarch, okay, you need a monarch token, target opponent loses 2 life. Whenever one or more creatures deals combat to you, convert Starscream. Okay, so let me see if you can get the monarch from here. Fly, Menace, Ace, wow. Whenever Starscream deals combat damage to a player, if there is no monarch, that player becomes the monarch. That player becomes the monarch. Okay, whenever you become the monarch, you convert Starscream. Okay, so you bring the monarch in the field, and then when it passes back to you, you convert Starscream, and then what it does is the other guy loses life every time he draws a card. Slicer, hired muscle, double strike, haste. So this is the Hitman from Transformers. At the beginning of each player opponent's upkeep, you may have that player gain control of a slicer until the other turn. If you do, tap slicer, got it, and it can be sacrificed this turn. If you don't, convert it, and then it becomes a car and fly, first strike, haste. When you're gonna convert it at the end of the combat. Okay, so you give damage, then you convert, and then at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, you may have that player gain control of Slifer a turn. Okay, if you do, and tap got it, and you can convert. Okay, so you give this guy, but then you got it. Seems like on commander, he will attack another player. RC, the sharpshooter, the Lady Transformer. Cheap to cast, and she has first strike, and can remove counters. It deals that much. It deals that much damage to target creature. What damage? Remove 1 or more. Okay, so 1 or more, and then you give 1 or more damage. That's it, right? And then I guess that you'll be also adding things here. Let's see. Whenever you cast a spell that targets 1 or more creatures or vehicles you control, put that many plus 1 card. That targets 1 or more. Okay, so she gets +1/+1s for targeting. And then we have Blaster Combat DJ. So this is the good radio that releases cassette tapes from its body, which are these tokens here. Let's see. Another non-token artifact creatures and vehicles you control have modular 1. They enter the battlefield with additional +1/+1 counter on them. When they die, you may put their +1 on target artifact. Okay. Whenever you put 1 or more counters on Blaster, convert it. So you could put a counter here. Then it becomes a radio, modular 3, which means that it comes with 3 things. And then you can move X counters from Blaster to another artifact. That artifact gains Ace until the end of the turn. If Blaster has no convert it. So this is not the one that puts the tokens. The tokens will be Soundwave, the other radio, the bad radio. Cyclonus, the Saboteur. Okay, more than meets the eye. Very expensive, more than meets the eye. Flying. Whenever Cyclonus deals combat damage to a player, it connives. If Cyclonus power is 5 or greater, convert it. To have a creature connive, draw a card, then destroy a card. Discard a card. If you discard a non-land card, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. Okay. If it deals combat damage to a player, you connive. Okay. Then if he's 5 or greater, you convert it. So he enters into play, you need to connive a couple of times, and then when he's 5 or greater, he becomes this powerful thing, which is fly, 5/5. When it deals damage to a player, convert it. If you do, there is an additional beginning phase after this phase. beginning phase includes the untap or keep and draw step. Okay, gives you almost an extra turn. And then the beginning of the turn, what happens here? Nothing. Okay. Wow, this guy is powerful. Flame War Brash Veteran. Sacrifice another artifact plus +1/+1 Flame War and convert it. Activate only as a sorcery. Or discard your hand, put all exile cards you own with intel counters on them into your hand. Okay, so who exiles the cards? Death Touch. Okay. Death Touch. Whenever Flame War deals combat damage to play, exile that many cards from the top of your library face down. Put an intel counter of each of them and then convert. Then sacrifice another discard a hand, put all exile cards in your hand with intel counters on them into your hand. Okay, so for one you can draw all those cards that you were managed to exile that many. Okay, whenever more deals combat damage to play, exile that many cards. Wow, that's good. Gives damage, exile cards, and then you can get them back. Goldbug, humanity's ally. Prevent all combat damage that you would be dealt to attacking humans you control. Humans. Maybe it needs to go in a human deck. Whenever you cast a second spell each turn, convert Goldbug. What are the humans? So this, I don't know what Goldbug is. It looks like Bumblebee, but not exactly like Bumblebee. So this must be a second version. Human spells your control can be countered. Whenever Goldbug and at least one human attack, you draw a card and convert Goldbug. So clearly for human decks, clearly. Megatron now. Wow. Your opponent can cast spells during combat. Okay, block spells. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, you may convert Megatron. If you do, add 1 mana for each life your opponent has lost. Okay, so gives lots of damage. And then use that in mana. And whenever Megatron attacks, you may sacrifice another artifact. If you do, Megatron deals damage equal to the sacrificed artifact mana value to that creature. If excess damage will be dealt to that creature this way, instead that damage is dealt to the creature's controller. Wow, and then convert, and then the beginner you gain life. Wow, gives excess damage. Wow, and then converts that into mana. And then we have another one that should be very powerful here, Optimus Prime. At the beginning of each end step, bolster 1. Choose a creature with the least toughness and put a +1 pronoun, so he bolsters the team like a leader. When Optimus Prime dies, return it to the battlefield converted under its owner control. Okay, so he comes back. He comes back as a vehicle and with trample, 6/8, and whenever you attack, bolster 2. The chosen creature gains trample until the end of the turn. When that creature deals combat damage to this player, convert Optimus Prime. So, and then he bolsters again. Okay, so this is pumping your team. And then Soundwave, the radio, the bad radio. Whenever one or more creature tokens you control deals damage, okay, so there'll be this one will bring the tokens. If they deal damage to a player, exile target instant or sorcery card with mana value equal to the damage from the graveyard. Copy it. You may cast the copy without paying the mana cost. If you do, convert Soundwave. Okay. Now you'll be creating copies, right? So whenever you cast a spell with odd mana value, convert Soundwave. If you do, create a Ravage. There's Ravage. 3/3 Black Robot. Damage with Madness and Death Touch. Whenever you cast an even spell, mana value, you create the Laserbeak, which is this one here. Laserbeak, X-proof and fly. And then once you have the tokens, if they deal damage to a player, you can exile instants and sorceries and then do copies. That's nice. And your final card would be here, Ultra Magnus. Tactician, and 7 mana for a 7/7. Ward 2. I remember this guy from the at least the movie, the Transformers movie. I guess there was also a series where he was the main guy, but I didn't watch that one. I just remember watching the one with Optimus Prime was the main guy. But yeah, at least on the movie, the animated movie from the 80s, beginning of 90s, I don't know, Ultra Magnus was the main character. And that was because Prime dies. Spoiler alert, Prime dies in the movie and this guy became the hero. Whenever Ultra Magnus attacks, you may put an artifact creature card from your hand into the battlefield tapped and attacking. If you do, convert Ultra Magnus at the end of the combat and it becomes another truck. It's exactly the same thing, but this truck is to transport vehicles and not cargo truck. Haste, formidable. Well, whenever Ultra Magnus attacks, attacking creatures you control gains indestructible to the other. If those creatures have a total power 8 or more, convert. So I have to do the sound, right? So, Autobots transform. How does it sound? Cool, so yeah, this was a Transformer set. I hope you have enjoyed and get to know a little bit more. So if you are a Magic fan, I hope that you enjoyed the video to the point of leaving a like, consider subscribing, especially because I have lots of Magic content in the channel, so I invite you to check the playlists there and be part of this community for more Magic content in the future. Thank you very much, goodbye.